Hi, guys. Welcome back to No Culty Vibes, or if it's your first time here, welcome. I'm Cassie Marie. Make sure to give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already, if you are interested in all things cults, pop culture, and trending topics. In this video, we're going to talk about some celebrity cult members that I spotted at the Super Bowl this year. And funny enough, all of these celebrity cult members go to the same church for the most part. We'll talk about it. We'll get into it. But if you're watching live, welcome. It's good to see you. Feel free to leave a comment in the chat. I've been saying this in every video, but I am still getting used to YouTube. I'm used to being on TikTok. You might have come here from there. You might know me from Liz Gale's channel and SPTV. But yeah, I'm getting it set up. I'm getting it figured out. I think I've got my video and audio situation figured out. I'm really liking it. I hope this audio is working well because it's better than what I've been using before. And I tell you what, getting used to new platforms is hard, but I feel like every time I go live, I get a little bit more used to it. So it's all good. I also sound really funny because I'm getting over a cold. I might have to pause to cough a couple of times, so I apologize for that. I will try to mute it when I do, and I actually have to cough right now. My family has been sick literally forever, and I'm so over it, and I'm so tired of it. But you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta make the videos. Gotta talk about the celebrity cult members. So the first one I spotted, I think is super interesting, especially because Kim Kardashian has been rumored to possibly be dating OBJ for a while now, and they were seen out and about in Vegas for Super Bowl weekend. They went to several of the parties before the Super Bowl. I think they were seen at the Super Bowl together and parties afterwards. And people are thinking this is their official, like, coming out. They're exclusive. They're a couple. They're living life and loving it. And if you're wondering how Kim Kardashian is a cult member, let me tell you. First of all, I talk about the Kardashian family as a cult. I have so many videos about this on TikTok, and I definitely will do some deep dives on YouTube as well. But I talk about the Kardashian family as a cult like family. They represent to me somewhat of like a toxic family structure, and some families and toxic families can present as cults and have so many similarities to the bite model and just different characteristics of cults and cult leaders. I feel like Kris Jenner would definitely present as the cult leader of the Kardashian Jenner clan, the Kardashian family. So I talk about, well, Kris and Kim a little bit, I think. But anyway, I talk about the Kardashian Jenners as a cult in general, but they've also been linked to a lot of evangelical Christian churches that are extremely culty or cult like. For example, Hillsong. Courtney went to Hillsong for a long time. Kendall and Kylie have both been seen at Hillsong. And the church that we're going to be talking about the most in this video is actually called Church Home, which is pastored by Judith Smith and I think also his wife Chelsea Smith. And I have some videos on that as well. I'm not going to do a deep dive on Church Home, but they are definitely like anti-LGBTQ. They have been accused of hiring their nanny's abuser. I don't know if I can say the word on YouTube, onto staff after their nanny disclosed what happened to them and they fully well knew about it and they just kind of disregarded. We've seen evangelical churches really a lot of this coming to light with a lot of culty evangelical churches. So they have that scandal going on, and they have another scandal where employees have said that they've been forced to tithe 10% of their income to church home or face potentially being fired. Hold on, I got another cough. So Church Home is pretty culty. Judith Smith, pretty culty. That's what ties all of the celebrity cult members we're talking about in this video together, including Kim Kardashian. Her and her sisters have gone to the church before. Also, Kris Jenner started a church years and years ago, and the pastor of that church is the one that officiated Khloe and Lamar's wedding forever ago. If you're a millennial, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, the Kardashians are culty. They're part of really culty evangelical churches. And what I find interesting about this in particular with Kim and OBJ being seen out and about together and dating is that Khloe also is rumored to have briefly dated OBJ or at least hooked up with him. I don't think they had any kind of a long relationship, but she dated him too, and I've seen a lot of people talking about this and commenting on it and bringing up the fact that Khloe also dated him. And I think the Kardashians definitely have dated a lot of the same men, and I think it's one of the really culty red flags or culty aspects of their family in general. I have a friend, Liv Vasquez, who we've both collabed together on Kardashian videos on TikTok. And she has this really great video where she talks about all the people that several of the Kardashians have been linked to or have been confirmed to have dated. And it's really wild. I'm going to pull it up and show you part of it. I have linked the TikTok in the description of this video, as well as Liv's TikTok and her YouTube. But I want you guys to watch this.
Kim also dated or is linked to OBJ currently, and Khloe dated him briefly. So they also have, that tie. And now Khloe's with Tristan, and Tristan allegedly cheated with Jordan, and that's why her and Kylie had a falling out. But Kylie has her own mess over here because she was with Travis Scott, and Kendall was briefly with Travis Scott. And then, of course, Kylie and Travis have Stormi, and I put Wolf, but I forget what they changed the baby's name to, but they have their 2 kids together. And then, allegedly, Justin Bieber also hooked up with Kendall, Kylie, and Kourtney. That's a big allegedly on that one.
So her video is obviously a lot longer than that, and she goes into detail. Several, like Travis Barker was linked to Kim Kardashian for a while. He was like in love with Kim Kardashian. He talked about it in one of his memoirs, I think. But then obviously ended up with Kourtney and they have a baby together. Liv really breaks it down for us, and she has all of the receipts, and it's really fascinating. But this is really similar to cults. A lot of times, people that are in cults will only date or marry other people within the cult. Sometimes with churches, like evangelical churches, it's not always people like within their same church, but it will be within the same family of churches, even. And it also makes me think of the Twin Flames documentary when they were like predicting people's soulmates or having psychic visions of who people's twin flames were and who their spouses were going to be, who they were going to end up with. And they realized that they were having more problems when they were predicting that the partner or spouse or twin flame was someone outside of the twin flame cult, outside of their belief system. They would run into the problems. People wouldn't believe that they're twin flames. This one woman literally got arrested for stalking one of her exes because he wasn't in the group, and she was told that he was her twin flame and to pursue him at all costs. And once the leaders of the twin flame cult realized that they were having so many problems with this, they started only picking partners and twin flames for people that were already in the same cult. And they really took this to the extreme and started having people change genders because they had more women in the cult than men, and they needed more masculine energies or men in the cult, and would tell people that they were too masculine or were more masculine and they had to take on a male persona. Twin Flames documentary, there's one on Amazon Prime and one on Netflix. You should watch them. They're crazy. But the whole idea is that it's easier to pick someone that's already somewhat indoctrinated into the narrative. And my theory is that the Kardashians have a small pool of people that are approved for them to date or to be with. And that's why they end up dating very similar people, because they've already, probably like passed the background checks, have been indoctrinated into the family system, et cetera, et cetera. I made a TikTok about this and somebody commented on it and said it probably saves paper for the NDAs also, which I thought was hilarious. So, Kim Kardashian, OBJ at the Super Bowl. Also at the Super Bowl, I did all of that. I have other pictures of them, but oh well, you guys got the picture and you got to look at my pretty face. Hold on, cough in. Okay. Also at the Super Bowl was Lana Del Rey. Actually, they're with Taylor Swift in the suite with her, which is kind of wild because Taylor and Lana went to the Grammys together, and Taylor brought Lana up on stage when she accepted her Grammys. I know Lana collaborated with her on the Midnight's album and was in one of the songs, but they have been really buddy buddy lately and have been seen out together in public a lot. So I'm curious to see if like what that is all about, but they seem like they've gotten really close and developed quite the friendship. And Lana Del Rey also attends church home with Judith Smith. Not only does she attend on her latest album that came out in 2022, she has a whole song called I think is it called Judah Smith Interlude or it's called something Interlude, and it's a Judah Smith sermon on the album, which I think is wild because she is now platforming someone who is basically a cult leader and has done really harmful things to people. And I get it. Judah Smith is pretty beloved among celebrities and celebrity Christians, and a lot of people in the like evangelical charismatic space really love Judah Smith and his wife Chelsea. Um, but church home is really culty, and he's done some really problematic things. And whenever I talk about Lana Del Rey being in this like culty environment, people don't think that she's evangelical or Christian or whatever, but she's been attending church home at least since 2019. I found like backgrid photos of her going in the back in the VIP sections, etc. And interestingly, I'm keeping an eye on Taylor Swift these days. Not that Taylor Swift is a cult member, because if anything, let's be real, she's more like the cult leader. The more I talk, the worse the coughing gets, I swear. But yeah, if anything, Taylor Swift is more of a cult leader. Swifties definitely can get very culty at times, but she's been so buddy buddy with Lana Del Rey. And her one of her other best friends is Selena Gomez. And Selena Gomez is very closely connected to Hillsong. And she went to Hillsong when Justin Bieber and Carl Lentz were very close. And Selena seemingly distanced herself from Hillsong, but she is still besties with Hillsong pastors. And her best friend that was on her documentary and in her cooking shows, that girl Raquel, her parents are Hillsong, like on the Hillsong pastoral care team. And from what I've heard, Selena Gomez is still fairly invested in Hillsong as a church. There are a number of Hillsong documentaries that you can check out as to why Hillsong is super culty. Church home is very much the same. So Taylor is also keeping very close company with some very conservative evangelical culty friends. So I'm watching it. I think that's interesting. Two people that also attend church home are Justin and Hailey Bieber. Justin is extremely close to Judah Smith. They are besties. Justin is like the Timothy Cruise of church home. What Tom Cruise is to Scientology, Justin Bieber is to church home. Has a very, very close relationship with him. And I noticed that Russell Wilson and Sierra were sitting very close to Justin Bieber and Hailey Bieber at the Super Bowl on Sunday night. And this is very interesting because Russell Wilson and Sierra also attend church home. They don't just attend though. Russell, oh no, my face is covering it. There you go, you can see. Russell is on the board of directors of church home, along with TD Jakes, which is a whole nother topic. There's been all kinds of crazy things coming out about TD Jakes lately. Have you guys seen that? I'm sure I'm going to need to do a deep dive on that too. But yeah, Russell Wilson is on the board of directors. Another person on the board of directors is Lou Taylor, Lucifer Taylor, the manager of Britney Spears' conservatorship. Lou Taylor's husband is also a pastor, and they have been connected to a number of culty churches and some very problematic ministries that allegedly Lou Taylor donated money from the Britney Spears Foundation to some of these very culty, harmful ministries that harmed women in particular. I have a whole Lou Taylor deep dive that I need to do. Also, I could talk about this stuff forever. Each one of these people have a whole story of all the cultiness that they have been in, been a part of, been around. Some of them are more victims. Some of them I feel like are more perpetrators. Lucifer Taylor is definitely one of those that's more of a perpetrator. And this brings me to another point about church home, and something that makes it very culty to me is it really feels like some of these evangelical Christian churches are just fronts at this point for like money laundering, tax evasion. Like, I don't even know, because Hillsong, and part of all of the Hillsong stuff that's been exposed lately, there were documents put forward by a whistleblower that accused Hillsong of financial fraud and of conducting this whole like international, basically money laundering and tax evasion scheme that was adopted by other ministries in the United States because Hillsong executed it so well. And other people kind of took that on to launder money, participate in tax evasion. And TD Jakes was actually named in those documents as someone who's participated in that level of tax evasion. And you just have to think, with those kind of people with such sketchy histories on the board of directors of a church, and a church catering to so many celebrities, that doesn't even cover all of the celebrities that go to church home. Kendall and Kylie go to church home. Demi Lovato went to church home for a time. She actually was like indoctrinated into it through a Bible study that Scooter Braun recommended that she attend. Scooter Braun was Justin Bieber and Demi Lovato's manager for a really long time. And he's not even evangelical, he's Jewish. So I have conspiracy theories about some of these churches that I need to share more of with you guys when I have more time. But they're wild. But yeah, with all of the celebrities and employees being required to tithe 10% of their income or be fired. Hold on. Yes, with these celebrities, the employees are required to donate 10% or be fired. You know, the celebrities are also tithing 10% because that is a huge part of the faith. This church has a ridiculous amount of money coming in on a weekly basis. Judith Smith is very wealthy. He has been on several projects like Lana Del Rey's. He has been on an album with Justin Bieber. Scooter Braun produced a podcast that Judah and Chelsea Smith did for a while. There's a lot of money moving in these places, and I literally I've got to know where it goes. I've got to know where this all leads. Maybe we should do a deep dive into the Hillsong documents too and their tax evasion. Hey guys, there's some people showing up in the chat. NFB Connect says Judah Smith started with Justin and Selena in 2008. I think Judah Smith started with at least Justin Bieber even well before 2008. So the thing about Justin Bieber is his mom is super charismatic evangelical Christian. She's very into the prophetic, and she on Instagram follows Bethel in Redding, California. She follows IHOP KC. IHOP KC, I have videos about that on my channel. There's that whole scandal going on right now. She follows Morningstar, led by Rick Joyner. That's the cult, the evangelical Christian cult that I was a part of. She follows Sean Foyt. Like, she follows all of those people, and she has for a long time. And she used to make Justin listen to Judah Smith's sermons ever since he was little. So he met Judah Smith after he became famous, but that was like one of the first things he said to Judah Smith was, "I used to fall asleep listening to your sermons." And then Judah Smith is the one who introduced Justin Bieber to Carl Lentz and who facilitated that friendship and like the deepening of that friendship. Judah Smith and Chad Beach, I think, are the ones that would go on tour with Justin when he was having all of those problems and like was in the media all the time. That was Judah Smith and Chad Beach that was touring with him. And then when Justin stopped touring and was going to Hillsong in New York with Carl Lentz, because Hillsong New York was blowing up so much, it was Judah who facilitated that. So it wasn't until the Carl Lentz scandal happened that Justin started going to Church Home and started like hanging out and having that same relationship with Judith Smith more so than Carl Lentz. Wild. NFB Connect also says, I have a playlist on my channel, Hillsong's churches and their family churches, Church Home and Zoe Church. I think that's how you say it, is Zoe Church. I will check that out because I am like I said, my friend Liv Vasquez and I collab on these things a lot, and it is such a deep rabbit hole, and it's so fascinating to me. And the celebrity connections and that like similarity and that connection to Scientology just absolutely endlessly fascinates me. So I will absolutely check out your playlist and see what your thoughts are about it. Maybe we can collab about it too. That would be fun. So yeah, that is basically all I have for the video today. Let me read. Yeah, they met in 2008, but Justin's mom was involved forever. I have the video of her from her first church explaining the whole story. Judah basically swapped Haley in for Selena, and it's all about the money. Yes, absolutely. That's a whole wild story as well. And the Baldwin family. The Baldwin family and Haley and Steven, that's crazy. I have several like prophetic cult stories that have to do with Stephen Baldwin, Haley's dad. Yeah, I'm gonna check out your channel for sure. Let's chat. Maybe we can collab. That's all I have for today. I didn't see any Scientology celebrities at the Super Bowl. I might have missed them, but I think a lot of the Scientology celebs are a bit older now and are not as like into being seen at something like the Super Bowl. Unless Tom Cruise does stuff like that sometimes, but I didn't see Tom Cruise there. Maybe Timothy was there and he was just hiding. Who knows? But we were on the evangelical cults today. So thank you so much for watching. I would love it if you subscribe. If you haven't already, give it a thumbs up. If you want to hear more about Justin Bieber and Church Home and Hillsong and Selena and the Baldwins, I have so much content coming about all of that. So many deep dives, like I said several times in the video. But that's it for now. I will see you in the next video. And in the meantime, don't be too culty. Bye.